You've been struggling at social media. You've been wondering, how are all these people going viral and my content sucks? Well, today we have an amazing conversation. Welcome into the $1,000,000 Secrets podcast. We have Jaden Young, social media strategist. I'm going to be honest, y'all. There's no one better at social media, I believe, than this gentleman right here. I met him just maybe 2 years ago, and he went from literally having no following. He's been doing this for a while, y'all, just so you know, to now he has quite a bit of a following. Plus, he's helped many of my clients build their social following as well. And so today we're going to be getting into deep social media game plans that you need to grow online and start generating leads. So welcome in, Jaden, to the show. So excited that you're here. Pumped up, amped up, and ready to get you out there to our audience, because I truly believe social media is like, it's like one of those mystical things that a lot of people like can't figure out. But I'm going to be honest, like when they do figure it out, they're like, whoa, this is crazy. Like this just changed my life. So listen, I just want to get, are you cool if we just get into the meat and potatoes of this today?
I'm down. Let's get it. I eat, sleep, and breathe content all day long, so I'm ready.
Let's go. So, I coach a lot of people, and a lot of people, they come to me and they say, Michael, I'm trying to post on social media and I'm just not finding success. So as we start this off, I want to kind of set the ground level with this question. What makes it good social media versus bad social media? Why are some people, they're winning and they're crushing at social media, and then there's some people, they just can't seem to find traction? I'm truly curious what you'd say.
I'd instantly say that off rip, that is just a loaded question in a way. Now, when I say loaded question, here's what I really mean by that. The definition of success when it comes to social media is different for everybody. For example, the definition of success on social media for business owners usually should be around obviously getting more business. When it comes to more creators,
Right.
it's something like, oh, followers, views, etc. Right? But if I'm being completely honest, the thing that really sets everything apart is the trueness and the realness. And if I were to go deeper, it would to be the people who are not seeing success on social media are trying to have success on social media, which
Okay.
means they automatically resort to doing what everybody else is doing on social media. However, the people that are seeing success, they are staying true to themselves, staying true to their own principles, their own strategies, their own beliefs, frameworks, experience, everything. That's the key difference, especially from a business owner standpoint, right? I know, again, I've helped many of your clients, and I talk about content all the time to them as a from a business aspect. If you can stay true to everything that has gotten you in your business to the level that it's at, you will always win on social media. Every time you step outside of that and you start to try to go viral, you start to try to grow your following, that's when everything starts to fall apart and nothing starts to work.
Man, was
It,
not
it,
expecting you to go that route. So that's pretty interesting, because I reach a lot of people where we do virtual events. They ask me, they say, so and so, they're going viral all the time. Jaden's going viral, and their social media, you could just tell, is like, it seems perfect, right? But mine's not doing anything. And I get the question all the time as well. You know, I'm posting on social media. It's not making me any money either, which that's a whole nother
yeah.
conversation we'll get into in just a little bit. So you talked about how they're not being true to themselves. They're forcing the play. How do
Mhm.
you go about creating social media in a way that feels less forceful? And you are being true to yourself. What would be some steps you would give to somebody if they were new on social, they wanted to get good at social, but they just didn't know where to start?
If I'm being honest, and I'm not the first person to think of it this way. However, I am the one of the first people to really think about this and apply it to content as it is. Everybody watching this, you're already making content. You already have content. You just didn't record it yet. So for a lot of business owners, most of the time you're going into the office, you're having all of these meetings, you're meeting up with all of these clients. For all of the creators out there, you have a lifestyle that somebody wants to watch. However, you just haven't recorded it yet. And so having that is the first thing that you could possibly do to really start to see success. And if I'm being completely honest, every single time, right? So right now on Instagram, I have 250,000 followers. On TikTok, I have 120,000 followers. And on YouTube, I think I'm like just under 5,000 subscribers or something like that. Nothing crazy. Every single time I have forced myself to make content, it has flopped. Every time I have recorded something that I was already going to say to a client, every time I've recorded something that I already do in my day to day in my business, those are the videos that people would say, oh, Jaden's going viral. No, Jaden just recorded the content that he didn't record previously. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And so what I'm kind of hinting at, it sounds like more of a documentation process, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people that I see crush it on TikTok specifically, and I don't know if this is just a TikTok thing, so we could talk about the difference between platforms. I've noticed that maybe a lot of people on TikTok document stuff like, "Hey, I'm building a house," or "Hey, I'm starting this business," and I'm like, and they blow up just because they're documenting their journey. Is that like, are certain platforms privy to certain content like documentation and
Absolutely.
things like that?
Absolutely. So I have a little my own philosophy around platform psychology and just platforms in general, right? So I'll even kind of hint at what I think is the best platform, quote unquote. Obviously, it's subject to everybody. So I'll kind of start there. First, we have the big three, which is TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. YouTube, no matter who you are, no matter what you do for a living, YouTube is always the end game. YouTube is going to be the longest lasting social media platform on the planet. I wholeheartedly believe this in the next 5, 10, 20 plus years. YouTube will always be the end game. And so you always want to have that in mind that, okay, no matter what I'm doing right now, YouTube should be the thing I launch for in the future. But in the right now, we have short form. Short form has been popping off over the last, what, 3, 4 years now, which has been a game changer for a lot of people, including myself. Now, with those, we have Instagram and TikTok first. TikTok is an extremely good platform if you want to blow up quickly. If you don't care about anything besides views, likes, shares, and followers, TikTok is going to be your platform. Why? Because the barrier to entry is so low. People don't care on TikTok, they just want to consume. For example, me and myself, I go to TikTok to watch videos, not like I go to TikTok to watch entertainment. I go to TikTok to be entertained, right? I watch videos, it's people in their bonnet, in their do rag, making funny faces, doing something along those lines. I go there not because I want to see anything extra polished. However, that's different on Instagram. People go to Instagram to see that polishedness. People go to
Right.
Instagram to see the virtual business card. That's kind of the culture on Instagram. So I could have one video and post it on both platforms. And this is something I study all the time. I could have one video, put it on both platforms, and it performs completely different. But it's all about platforms, culture. So if you are somebody who loves to shoot content on your phone, TikTok is the best platform. If you're somebody who's like, yo, I wanna have this big fancy camera with this crazy good lighting, good luck on TikTok. Good luck on TikTok because people go there to see the lower quality stuff, the stuff that isn't scripted. The stuff on Instagram, however, is the scripted stuff. And so each platform, as I said, it just has its own complete culture. Now, I don't know if I'm biased, but I'll say it anyways. I think Instagram is the best platform out of the three in a short to mid term. Here's why. YouTube, the subscriber quality on YouTube is astronomical. Like you can have 50 subscribers, but they mean more than 50,000 TikTok followers because those people are ride or die. Like honestly, think yourself, Michael, how long does it take you to follow somebody on TikTok versus subscribe to somebody on YouTube?
Yeah,
It
for
takes
me,
you
I
much
was
longer.
telling somebody about this earlier. I very rarely subscribe on YouTube. Very
Exactly.
rarely.
And so I follow thousands of people on TikTok and I don't know 90% of the people that I follow on TikTok. Like I'll see a cute video, a cool video, a funny video, and I'm like, oh, nice, dope. And I'm like, oh, that person can get a follow. So like the quality of follower on TikTok isn't as much unless you're like a mega influencer. But for like a regular business owner, the quality of the follower isn't as much. And so it gets harder to do things like make money from that audience, especially if you have a business. However, on YouTube, the quality of followers and subscribers is better and more. However, it takes way longer to grow on YouTube. So YouTube, better quality of followers, takes longer to grow. TikTok, easy, very quick to grow, low quality of followers. Instagram, I wholeheartedly believe, is the best of both worlds. I think that it's easier to grow and quicker to grow on Instagram than it is on something like YouTube. But I think the quality of followers on Instagram still remains strong. And so I wholeheartedly I optimize everything for Instagram right now. Now, once I start to really, really, really get into YouTube, that's where all my focus will go because that's long term. But if I'm thinking short to midterm, Instagram all day long. So that's my point of view. I hope I answered your question in that.
Dude, you did answer the question and you answered it well. And so I love this. I hope you all are finding value in this conversation because social media is one of those games where it can go very deep, very fast. And one of the things that I'm curious myself, and this is going down another rabbit hole, is so you got these platforms. How do you incorporate artificial intelligence, AI, into these platforms? Like, what is Jaden's strategy? What is your strategy to using AI with social media? Because I know you have one.
Mm. I'll give
Or
you.
I would assume you have one.
Oh, of course, of course. I'll give you guys something that I do every day now that helps me make better and more content. So, right now, a lot of people in the AI and content space, they're like, yo, use AI. And I'm guilty of doing this sometimes too, but a lot of people make it their entire brand, their entire personality. Oh, I'm just using AI to create my content ideas, write my scripts, do this, that, third. However, they forget this massive opportunity of just true content success. And here's what I mean. So earlier I spoke about how when you stay true to yourself, your own principles, your own frameworks, the content comes across better. So I take that and I use AI with it. A big piece, and I don't want to get ahead of myself because I love this. I'm a geek about this. A big piece in using AI is making sure that you are still leveraging it as your own person, like using your own brain. It's very easy with AI and content to be like, okay, cool. I guess that's a content idea. Can you script this out for me? And then next thing you know, you sound like a robot and your audience doesn't really rock with the content that you put out. And that's because it's clear as day not coming from you. It's not coming from in the heart. So here's what I do. I use AI to reverse engineer my own strategies and frameworks in order to come up with more and better content ideas. So I give AI three main things. Oh, this is so good. I've never said this anywhere else. I give AI three main
Let's
things.
do it.
I give AI a voice recording of myself. So I give it a voice recording. Like I literally grab my phone. I'm like, this is me. This is my business. This is what I do. This is my personality, etc. Almost like a little monologue just about myself and my company. Then I give it all of the old content that I've ever produced. Now, depending on how much content, you could just give it your best performing or your worst performing content. And last but not least is the game changer. I give it all of my client recordings and all of my coaching calls. I give AI three big things, and these three things really come together and kind of create a cake. See, if I'm being honest, most people when they use AI for content, it fails because they either give it the wrong ingredients or they use the ingredients out of order, if I'm being honest, right? So I kind of think of it like baking a cake. Cool. When you bake a cake, you want to put the flour first, the eggs, whatever, whatever, whatever. You want to do it in order and you want to mix them all together. So I give it three things. One, I give it a voice recording of myself. I literally pull out my phone. I give it a voice recording of who I am, what I stand for, what kind of company do I have, things about my company, what sets me apart from competition, etc. Things of that nature. Next is I actually give it all of my old content. Now, most of you probably don't post that much. So you can give it your best performing pieces of content, your worst performing pieces of content. Just depends on what you want to give it. But for me, I give it my top performing pieces of content from the last 3 months. Every single time I do this, top performing pieces of content in the last 3 months. Last but not least is, now this one right here is the game changer. Okay, so I want you all to really think about AI, how AI actually works. So again, I give it my voice recording, I give it my old content, but the thing that is missing for a lot of you right now is the context and the reverse engineering of frameworks. So for me, that big missing piece is all of my old coaching calls and all of my client calls. What I tell it to do from there is I give that all of that to the AI and I say, yo, all of these frameworks, principles that I've broken down to my clients, to all of my students, I want you to help me reverse engineer all of that, right? Again, you know how I speak. You see the type of business that I have. You understand the content that I'm trying to create. So now help me reverse engineer all of my strategies. Help me create deeper, more impactful content for my direct audience. That is the biggest thing that I'm doing right now with AI for my brand, if I'm being completely honest. And that alone, again, I haven't shared that with anybody else publicly aside from like my clients and students. That alone will almost create you a content strategist just with AI. Like it's absolutely insane. It's actually
Let's
crazy.
go. I'm loving this, y'all. Actionable things you can actually put in play. I want to ask you a question. You may have opinion on it, you may not. What do you feel like, or what do you feel about AI clones? Everybody's coming out with AI clones, where you can use HeyGen and all these different platforms and clone yourself and create content with that. And I see it as some people are trying to create content without getting in front of the camera because maybe
Yeah.
they don't like the camera. Some people are using it as a way to save time and energy. What's your thought process on using AI clones on social media content?
Okay. I have so many thoughts and opinions about this because, again, this is stuff that I go through in my head every single day. My first thought is 70%. And when I say that, I don't just say that as a random number. I mean, it's 70% of the way there of being able to like replace someone. Because as you said, a lot of people right now are like, I don't want to hop in front of the camera. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. I would rather an AI robot do it for me. If I'm being completely honest, it's 70% of the way there for it to actually be impactful. Now, that's the first thought I really do have about it. The second thought I have about it is filler content. So a lot of people, they're just inconsistent because they don't have enough content to go in between the major pieces of content. So if you use something like that to create filler content that goes in between the major, the heavy hitters, I think you can get away with it, especially if you do something like a green screen video to where the AI avatar isn't the entire video. It's actually in a
Right.
small piece of the screen. And what the audience is really looking at is the article, the B-roll footage, whatever it is. If the AI avatar isn't the main character, I think you can get away with it. And last but not least, my last thought is if you use it without trying to make it seem like you're not using it. And here's what I mean. So there's like a bot called ManyChat, which is where if you guys have watched any video, I do this all the time where they're like, comment down below this. And then they send a text message or a link or a resource to your DMs. That's ManyChat. It's a DM automation. It's not you replying, it's actually the bot, right? You set it up, whatever you want it to say. I use this every single week and honestly almost every day. The key difference between people who are successful with that versus people who aren't are the people who try to make it seem like it's actually them replying. So on my ManyChat, I have this thing called Robo Jaden. So every time you opt into one of my automations and it sends you a message, it's clear as day that it's not me. It clearly says Robo Jaden. So therefore, that takes all the pressure off of me and all the pressure off of you to try and come in and tell me about myself. Oh, this isn't really Jaden. This is one of Jaden's assistants. No, it's clear as day up front. This is Robo Jaden. So to tie that back into AI avatars, most people right now are trying to use AI avatars as if it's clearly them, but in reality, it's not. We can all tell it's an AI avatar. So I think you can have success with it if you make it known, hey, this is not me. This is an AI avatar, something that I'm trying out, my AI assistant, something along those lines. Now, I have somebody in mind who I want to bring up for this. However, he's going through some controversy right now. If you don't mind me bringing him up, Michael, I can
I
name
don't
drop.
even know who it is. So you can.
Okay, cool. So there's a guy called well, his Instagram is like Finessers Only Club. Now, obviously, he has some things going on. However, he knows and his company knows that content can't stop. And so, if you go and look at his most recent posts, they are clearly AI bots. However, if you read his captions and you look at the content itself, he's not hiding it. He's actually making it known. He's making that the first priority to let you know that, yo, this is an AI bot making content for me. And so if you are going to go that route, don't try to make it seem like, oh, this is me. I'm making content, this little no, it's not you. You make it known that it's not you, and it will actually start to perform much better because now you're not trying to keep up with the facade.
Yeah,
So
that
that's
makes
my point
sense.
of view for it.
That makes sense for
But
sure, man.
other than that, I love AI bots. I love the direction that it's going because I think it'll free up a lot of businesses and brands from a lot of things.
Yeah, and
Because
it's
you
crazy. I mean,
think about it,
AI is
okay,
only going to get better, right? It's only going to
it's
get
only going to get
deeper.
better, and it's already good. That's the crazy part. It's already good.
I love it. Yeah, for sure, man. Well, listen, if you guys are enjoying this, let us know below that you're enjoying this content. Go ahead and let us know in the comments. But Jaden, I won't hold you up too much longer, man. But so what? You know, you've been in the social media game for a while. You've seen a lot change. You've seen
Yeah,
things where you were probably doing content back before TikTok was even a thing. You were
I
built. You
was.
were
I was one of the first people on TikTok.
exactly. So you've been in the game for a while. How do you spot though, like, or how does somebody spot emerging trends? Maybe how I don't know. You see all these things happening on social media where there's new viral trends happening. Sometimes you even see new tools being added to these platforms like Instagram and TikTok. How does somebody go about staying ahead of the curve so they're never like one step behind, but they're always one step ahead?
Man, so I'll give you a couple things that we do in our company, right? So we read a lot. So a platform like Instagram is changing so much. Why? Because they're trying to keep up with what's new with TikTok, what's working with TikTok, but they're also trying to stay ahead and stay at a level playing field with something like YouTube. And so what we do actually is very simple, but a lot of people overlook it. Like I won't even try to make it seem so complicated. Instagram has two different accounts. One of them is like a creator's account, and there's another account. The head of Instagram, as well as Instagram articles. Every single day, we are reading the articles that Instagram is putting out because it shows you what they are about to do, what they are currently doing, and new resources that they are releasing. And so, if you just actually read what they are saying, these are people that work for the company that is the company, actually we are able to see where things are headed. Here's another one that a lot of people overlook, and I'm big into psychology and things that like things along those lines when it comes to social media. When you see people abusing something, just know that the opposite is about to come true. And so, what I mean by that is let's look at 2, 3 years ago. 2 to 3 years ago, you could not go on Instagram and TikTok without seeing 10 hyper edited videos in a row. Like you couldn't do it, especially in the business world, right? Hyper edits were the thing. People started to abuse them. And alongside hyper edits, we had this random guy who came out with a bunch of captions called the Hormozy captions. Hormozy captions were being used on everybody's content. But if you take a step back and you think, okay, everybody, and I quite literally mean almost everybody is using these Hormozy captions. And if they aren't using the Hormozy captions, they're doing these crazy hyper edits. So that should automatically trigger in your brain, okay, the opposite is about to come true. And if you look in today, 2025, the top performing pieces of content across creators and entrepreneurs are videos that are barely edited, videos with no animation, videos with very simple captions or no captions at all, videos where it's just cuts. And so you see this happening over and over and over again where the simple style is winning. And it's less about the edit itself, it's more about what the person is saying and the value in the video. So what we do is we just look at what is happening across the entire board. Hyper edits, what styles of content, what topics of content. We look at that and we say, okay, what is the complete opposite of this? Because that's what's about to happen. That is what's going to be the next wave. Like, simple as that. That's something that Gary Vee does. When Gary Vee predicts what's happening, he just looks at the opposite of everything. Now, I'm not him. I don't know exactly what he's thinking, but if you look at the track record, everything that he has said that has proven to become true, it's just been the opposite of what everybody else has been doing. And that's something that like we dive into every single day. Also, I'm very intuitive. So a lot of the times I get lucky. I'll be completely and utterly honest. A lot of the times I get lucky with that type of stuff. It's really in the reps, right? It's almost like, okay, Michael, you're really good at business stuff. You're really good at back end business stuff. You've been doing it for so long. And so for you, it's very easy for you to look at a situation and be like, no, this thing is about to happen instead of what everybody else thinks. But it comes with the reps. When you create content for so long, you start to understand it like it's a game. And it really does become a game. You look at a game, you start to see, okay, cool. Well, now it's another mission. It's just another mission. And you can start to pre-assume all of the missions. And truthfully, that's how I genuinely think about staying ahead of the curve. And it's worked for the last 5 years. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
Let's go. I love it. Repetition is the key to mastery. And when you get in there and start putting the reps, like you're saying, you'll start identifying. If I'm just summarizing everything you said, doing the work, you start identifying key things, trends, but then staying ahead by doing your research and being knowledgeable on some of these factors, such as like Instagram accounts, things like that. So that's awesome, man. I love hearing this. So I wanna kind of bring the plane to a close and ask a few other things as we do so. So we talked about, the top platforms. We've talked about how to use AI with your social media content. We've talked about, maybe what makes good and bad content. Well, let's say somebody wanted to follow a framework to go make content. Like they're just like, yo, Jaden, I need a step-by-step, like how to go out there and just make a simple reel or make a simple short that, does fairly well and that reaches my target audience. Do you have a formula to creating social media reels? Do you have a formula to crafting social media content?
I do. And I'll give you guys two of them that I absolutely love, and two of them that I use on a day to day basis, if I'm being completely honest. One of them is something you've probably heard before, which is just PSA. PSA stands for problem, solution, application. Starting your video off with the problem. What is it that the audience is going through? What is it that they're thinking about, which is another problem? What is something that they are struggling with? Problem. Solution. What is your solution to that problem, right? Whether it's a service level or even a deeper solution. And then the next one is just application. A lot of people right now watching this, they'll just do P&S. They'll talk about a problem, they'll barely talk about a solution, but then they leave out the A, which is application. And so your audience watches your video not knowing exactly what to really think of it. They leave your video not really getting any real value from it. They just know that you know a lot about something. And so the application is what steps they can take, what things they can do, what resources they can look at to actually go and apply the solution that you gave them. Application PSA. That's something that I had a reel 2 days ago. As of the time of recording this, 2 days ago, I had a reel that is currently at I can look this up, the real numbers right now. The reel is currently at 162,000 views right now. I use the PSA framework. That is it. PSA, problem, solution, application. What problem are they going through? My solution. How can they actually apply my solution? The next one, which the last letter of this one changes a lot, but the first two letters are always the same, which is C and F, curiosity and fulfillment. Flat out. What are they actually curious about? For example, Michael said you guys are curious about which platforms are the best platforms. So I can make a video today, which is most of you right now don't even know what platform to actually post on. Boom, curiosity. Fulfillment. Fulfillment is technically my opinion on the thing. And then last but not least is honestly, I'll just call it A again, which is the application. How can I fix your curiosity? So I'll call that CFA and PSA. Those are my two frameworks that I go about for creating reels specifically. I want to keep my reels short. Obviously, this isn't something that you asked, but I want to give this game anyways. The best performing reels for me and that I've seen just across the board range between 45 seconds and 60 seconds. A lot of you like to use the maximum amount of time. Oh, I can post a 3-minute Instagram reel. Yeah, but should you? If you can't get your point across in 60 seconds, that means you're rambling. That means you're saying a bunch of fluff. That means you're saying stuff that your audience doesn't even care about. And again, this isn't just for educational content. This is just across the board. Even if you're doing a get ready with me, they don't need to see certain things. They just want to come for the shirt, the pants, the clothes, and where this from, pretty much. So 45 seconds to 60 seconds is a big principle that I follow every single day. That's something that a lot of people overlook. And if I'm being completely honest, something else that a lot of people overlook is this little thing called comment reply reels. So CRR. If you go to everybody can do this right now. If you're not watching this on your phone, pull out your phone, go to your last piece of content that you made. Literally click on it. Mine's is right here. Cool. Go to my comment section. 9 times out of 10, if you made a decent comment and not a decent comment, excuse me, if you made a decent piece of content, people can't not give their opinion. It's 2025. Everybody is entitled to saying something. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. So what do? You play off of that. I literally go to my comment section, find one. Somebody says, I'll go to this random one. Love this. My hand gestures are directing traffic, so time to tame them down because I made a video on what to do with your hands and arms. I could just do a follow-up video to this by clicking reply and clicking the camera next to it. So now I can make an entire piece of content based off of this comment alone. That way, most of you aren't sitting at home like, okay, what do I need to make today? No, people are already in your comment section giving you what content to make next. So that's that. I know I kind of went in circles, but
no, I like it.
That's stuff I had to give.
PSA, CFA, and you said the last one was
the comment reply. So CRR.
Comment reply. Gotcha. I was trying to remember the acronym for that. So I love it, man. This is really cool, really helpful. I'm not a big content guy myself. You will not go on my social media and find me making content, mainly because I don't have the time. That's the excuse I give myself. But I really want to. Like, this makes me excited, want to go create some content. I'm like, man, Jaden's just give me the full blueprint. I can follow everything you just said and go run the plays. So last question I'll ask you is, everybody's making social media content, right? I'm sure these frameworks will help you stand out alone, but how do you truly stand out on social media when there's millions and millions of people posting every day and everybody's attention span is like this small? How do you catch people's attention and get them to stop?
So if I'm being completely honest, there are only 4 main things that really make you stand out on social media. One is personality. This works really well for a lot of creators, right? You stand out because people really enjoy and like your personality. Number 2, which is something that most of you are probably going to laugh at, especially you, Michael, is if you're pretty. Pretty privilege works on social media. If you are a good looking person, you will win on social media because people love to see other attractive people. Next is the actual video itself. For example, you guys are watching this, you see Michael's setup. It's like a clear, really good looking setup. People will follow you. People will watch your content if it's just quality. If you have quality content, you will stand out because most people are automatically recording content on their phone, which is technically lower quality than something like a couple $1,000 camera. And then last but not least is quality of value. If you're a business owner watching this is really going to help you out, because quality of value is the most important quality that you need to be paying attention to. There's a new guru in your space every single day. Trust is at an all-time low, if I'm being completely honest. Like people, it's taking longer to trust, and it's harder for people to trust other gurus nowadays. And so you need to be able to have a better quality of value, which is simply this: can you give your audience a new perspective? Do they watch your video and now have a changed mindset? Can they actually apply your video with the 24-hour rule, which is something I stand by every single video I make? Which the 24-hour rule is, within 24 hours of watching your piece of content, can they implement something? Again, can they change their perspective? Can they change their mindset? That's the stuff that will set you apart. Your editing does not really matter how people say it does. Trending sounds do not matter. Hashtags do not matter. What matters is, are you pretty? Do you have good value? Is your video itself pretty? Okay, is it extremely good quality? And are you shifting perspectives? Are you shifting beliefs of your audience? That's the stuff. I won't even fluff you, Michael. I'm being completely honest with you. That's the stuff that will set you apart, whether you believe it or not.
I love it, man, because a lot of people, they come in with these social media stereotypes and maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just different. They believe. Okay, I'm going to step back. I believe some people, they're still living in the 2010, 2015 social media. And so they think hashtags, all these things matter, which maybe some of them still do, maybe some of them don't, but majority of what used to be is not anymore. And so I'm loving you just like wrecking my mind with social media truths that I didn't even know were truths anymore. So thank you so much for bringing new insight. So if you could give somebody like one piece of advice whenever it comes to content, you know, they're here and they're like, man, Jaden, I've seen you on social media, or I want to be like you. What would just be one simple truth or one just
Mm,
gem you would give them to help them with their social media content? It could be anything. It could be social
mm.
related or not. Just what is one gem you would give them?
No, it's definitely going to be social related. I got this. If you're watching this, come close, because there's nobody talks about this. So please come close. You need to adhere to the audience aligned algorithms. They're called For You pages for a reason. People are now being shown content based off of what they like, what they interact with, not from who they follow. Followers are dying every single day. Followers are slowly dying. And so when you think to make content, think from your audience's perspective. What is it that they want to see? If I was them, what content am I interacting with on a day-to-day basis? Because that's the content that you need to make, because that's the content that will actually be shown to them. Algorithms are not what you think. Algorithms isn't Zuckerberg sitting at his desk swiping through videos saying yes, no, viral, flop. That's not what's going on. What's going on is these algorithms are, believe it or not, AI based. They read the transcript of your video, they read the caption, they read the type of music that you have on it, and they say, okay, cool, this video will be good for this audience. And they drop it right in front of them on their own For You pages and Explore pages. And if you did a good job at showing your audience what they desire to see, then your video will perform well. Congratulations. But if your videos continue to flop over and over and over again, it's because your videos are unaligned with what your audience actually wants to see. And to that, my friend, I say pay attention to the content that your audience is interacting with. Simple as that.
I love it, man. Let's go. I think so many people, they make content without sitting down to think, because you hear people say, just create a content every day, create content
Yeah.
every day, create a reel a day, and they never actually teach you how to sit down and
Mm-hmm.
evaluate what's going to work and what's not going to work, what has the best chance of success, what doesn't. And so what you're saying is, don't just create content, but create content with thought behind it, with a purpose
Yeah.
behind it, and reevaluate. So this is awesome, man. This is amazing. So listen, I know people are probably wondering, hey, where can I go find Jaden? Where can I, like, this dude is like the whiz at social media. How can I connect with him? So just give the audience real quick where they can go to connect with you. And I'm sure they'd appreciate that.
Alrighty. I am mainly on Instagram at I am Jaden LY. IAMJADENLY. If you want like deeper breakdowns of my stuff, I'm over on YouTube at Jaden Lamar. Lamar is
Let's
my
go.
middle name, if you're wondering. But yeah,
I was like, Jaden Lamar, where does that come from? I'm gonna have to start calling you that. Let's go. Let's go. I'm changing your name in my phone. But listen, thank you so much, Jaden, for coming on here. I know, he just actually got out a bunch of storms in where he lives, and he just was having internet issues, and so he was like, dude, but I got to make it happen. So we appreciate you. One thing I would recommend everybody that's here today, Jaden just took 30, 40 minutes of his time to just give you actionable plays. The application he was talking about, he just gave it to you. So one thing I would recommend everybody do here is find a way to take one thing that Jaden taught today and take it to the finish line. Like implement something. For me, it's the PSA. It's the CFA. I'm going to be implementing those strategies. I need to sit down and create some more content. So I'm going to be implementing the PSA and CFA. So what is that for you? Identify it. Maybe go back, click rewind. Maybe, I don't know. I'll give you permission to put this through some kind of AI summary where you can go just run all these plays, but just pick one, because I promise you, social media, can be a gold mine. We didn't even get into the sales part, so maybe we'll bring him back in the future talking about how to use social media to farm leads and close deals. But social media can be a great lead source for your business. I have one client right now that she's getting like 1,000+ people per week into her webinars, into her virtual events, just through her social content. So imagine if you got good at social media, imagine what could actually happen in your business. That's just one out of many clients that have mastered what Jaden is teaching. So go find a way to implement this social strategy. Go find a way to win in your business with social media. And I promise you, it'll pay off in the long run. So Jaden did an amazing job teaching today. I hope you guys tune in for the next episode. We have many more of these coming in the future. But listen, do me a favor. Go hit Jaden up. Go tell him you came from the show, and then click that little bell below. Click the notifications below. Click the subscribe button below, and we would love to keep you inside the $1 Million Secrets podcast family. So again, thank you guys for being here. We'll see you in the next episode. God bless. Let's get it.